BRAINY presents 12 psychological tricks smart people use. Have you ever met someone who never raises their voice, never argues, and still manages to get exactly what they want? They're not pushy, they're not over-the-top charming, but there's something about how they carry themselves, how they respond, how they ask the right questions that just works. People listen, problems calm down, vibes shift. What separates these individuals from the rest isn't raw intelligence. It's psychological awareness and the ability to use subtle behavioral techniques to handle situations more smoothly. Once you start noticing them, you won't stop. And once you start using them, everything begins to feel a lot easier. Number 1, building connection through shared frustration. You know how venting about something annoying, like bad drivers or long customer service calls, can bring people together? That's not just complaining, it's an instant sense of camaraderie. Smart people use little moments like these to build rapport. It's like saying, you and me, we're on the same side. It's fast, emotional, and it lowers defenses with surprising efficiency. Number 2, using silence as a tool for clarification. Most people feel an almost reflexive urge to fill silence, but smart communicators allow quiet moments to stretch, especially when someone is being vague, manipulative, or evasive. Silence creates a psychological gap that demands closure, and in that space, people often end up clarifying themselves, admitting details they initially withheld, or revealing more than they intended. Silence, when used intentionally, becomes a truth amplifier. Number 3, shifting personal blame to process-oriented talk. When something goes wrong, it's easy to ask, why did you do that? But that puts people on the defensive, fast. Smart people redirect the focus. They ask about the process, not the person. What led to that choice? What was the sequence? What was the thought process behind that? It turns the moment away from blame and toward problem solving, which usually gets much better results. Number 4, casually creating behavioral expectations. Smart people like to embed expectations into casual conversations, avoiding direct requests and keeping things light and natural. Rather than saying, don't be late, they say something along the lines of, you're getting so much better at being on time lately. Love that. By which they suggest continuity, reliability, or future behavior without explicitly demanding it. This approach essentially anchors the desired action into the other person's self-image. And since we all want to be consistent with how we see ourselves or how others see us, most people end up living up to those expectations without ever realizing it. It's low pressure, but super effective. Number 5, matching emotional intensity before calming someone. When dealing with someone who's emotionally charged, immediately defaulting to calm down mode rarely works. Instead, smart people momentarily reflect the emotional intensity being expressed, not to escalate it, but to show, hey, I get why you're feeling this way. Doing this creates a sense of alignment and validation. Only after that brief moment of resonance do they begin to bring the energy downward. The result? Tension dissipates and real communication becomes possible. It's a gentle, respectful way to create psychological safety before leading someone toward clarity. Number 6, strategically breaking eye contact. We're told eye contact equals confidence. True, but too much feels confrontational. Smart people know exactly when to break it, typically after delivering a strong point or impactful thought. This breaking gaze has a powerful effect. It forces the listener to internalize what was just said. It creates a pause that enhances gravity, kind of like dropping the mic, without actually dropping the mic. Done intentionally, it's a silent way to command attention without dominating the conversation. Number 7, presenting ideas as hypotheticals to reduce resistance. One of the most effective ways to introduce a new idea, especially if it may be met with resistance, is by removing the pressure of decision. Smart communicators tend to present it as a hypothetical or mental exercise, which feels a lot lighter than a directive. For instance, instead of saying, "We should do this," they say, "What would happen if we tried this?" It gives others psychological permission to consider the idea without committing to it. And ironically, it often leads to agreement more quickly than a direct proposal ever could. Number 8. Practicing selective unawareness. Sometimes the smartest move is pretending you don't know what's going on. You see, people reveal more when they think you're not a threat. They relax, they underestimate you, and they talk freely. Smart people do this all the time in negotiations, tense conversations, even interviews, not to deceive, but to observe. In fact, this can be a powerful tool for gathering information. It provides time, perspective, and insight into underlying motives or power dynamics. Number 9. Asking for insight over assistance. There's a fundamental psychological difference between being asked to help and being asked for advice. The latter taps into a person's desire to feel knowledgeable and respected. By positioning a request as a need for insight, not just for help, smart folks make others feel competent and valued. It's like saying, "I trust your judgment," instead of, "I need something from you." And most people respond way more positively to that. It's a nuanced approach that changes the entire dynamic of a request. Number 10. Managing expectations to exceed them quietly. Some people talk a big game, but don't deliver. Smart people do the opposite. They keep expectations low, and then quietly exceed them. For example, they say they'll try to complete a project by Friday, and then deliver it on Thursday. Impeccable and ahead of time. No bragging, no grand reveals, just quiet competence that builds trust and keeps people coming back. Great for business. Number 11. Leading with questions, not arguments. This is one of the most powerful and underrated psychological tricks smart people use in tense situations. Whether it's a heated conversation, a political debate, or a group discussion with clashing opinions, they resist the urge to jump in with their own hot take. Why? Because arguing puts people on the defensive. The moment you take a side, you become a threat to someone else's viewpoint. Walls go up, listening shuts down. It becomes a win-lose situation. But when you stay neutral and focus on asking thoughtful, open-ended questions, the entire energy of the conversation takes a different direction. People feel heard, not attacked. And suddenly, they're explaining, reflecting, and even reconsidering their stance. Number 12. Framing feedback as a favor. Giving feedback can be tricky, especially if the person on the receiving end is a bit too quick to take things personally. Smart people know it's all about how you frame it. They avoid coming across as critical or corrective by presenting the feedback as something helpful, a tip, an insight, even a small favor. This instantly changes the energy. It feels less like judgment and more like support. When people believe you're trying to help them, not fix them, they're way more likely to listen, reflect, and actually use what you're offering. It all comes down to this. Smart people don't control others. They understand them. They study human behavior like a science. They listen more than they speak and respond with intention. And above all, they play the long game. So the next time you're in a tense conversation, a tricky negotiation, or just trying to connect with someone, pause and ask yourself, what would a smart person do right now? You might find that the answer isn't louder, faster, or more forceful. It's quieter, smarter, and way more powerful. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so we can keep making them. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to click on the notification bell. Also, to learn more about many other interesting topics, be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.